bolster, legs in the air. And take a breath in and take your arms straight up to the ceiling. So legs and arms are above you. As you breathe out, let the arms go to the floor behind you. Breathe in, bring the arms back up to the vertical. And as you breathe out, let the arms go out to a T shape, palms turned up. Bend your knees, fold the ankles. So keep your thighs over the front body and cross your feet at the ankles. So when you're ready to breathe in again, take both arms up to the ceiling, take both legs up to the ceiling. As you exhale, take the arms to the floor overhead, keep the legs to the ceiling. As you breathe in, bring the arms back up to vertical. As you breathe out, take the arms out to the T shape, cross your feet at the ankles, drop your thighs over the front body. So keep that movement going. Inhaling, legs up to the ceiling, arms up to the ceiling. Exhaling, arms back to the floor overhead. Inhaling, arms back up to the ceiling. Exhaling, arms out into a T shape, cross your feet at the ankles, thighs over the front body. So it's a fairly simple little routine. If you could keep that going, breathing in as the arms come up, breathing out as they go back. Breathing in as they come up again. Breathing out as they go into the T shape and folding at the ankles, thighs over the front body. Really listening to the breath in your throat. So keep your mouth relaxed and rounded. Hear the sound of the breath at the back of your throat. Next time that your arms are in a T shape and you've got your thighs over the front body, ankles crossed, just simply rest there. Just being aware of the breath. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. And now bring your hands onto your knees and just hug your thighs close to you. Just drawing your thighs close, you can uncross your ankles, and you could put your hands behind your knees so that your thighs are over the sides of your body and you're in an upside down squat. Just a couple of deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Your shoulders and upper arms are relaxed on the floor. Hear your breath. And then slide your fingers out, bring your feet to the floor, the other side of your bolster. So you're in the bridge. And now lift up and push your bolster under your thighs. So slide your legs long. Bolster is under the thighs, so it's between your buttocks and your knees. And just let your arms release, palms up in an A shape. So taking a moment here, long legs, noticing breath. And now draw your right thigh over the front of your body and just bringing your hands either behind your knees, if there's a knee issue, or onto your shins. And draw your knee towards the armpit. So the foot is sort of slightly to the center. You can put your left hand on the foot and slide your right hand now up to the knee. And so you've got that little movement, slightly diagonal movement of the lower leg. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Keeping your hand on the knee, and just begin to circle the knee, big circles. It's actually in your hip. So making large circles with this right leg. So big circles. That's it. So you get quite a lot of movement. You can let go of the foot for a minute, just so that you're a bit freer there, and then circle in the opposite direction. So you've got your right hand on the kneecap. Right hand on the kneecap. That's it. Gives you more movement. And then if you go back to holding the knee, you've got the right hand on the kneecap. Now reach for the foot with your left hand. Your other leg is still relaxed long, thigh over the bolster. Bring your right hand under the shin and thread your fingers in between your toes, your right toes. So left fingers in between the right toes, and circle the foot at the ankle. So if you can't thread your fingers in, you can still circle the foot at the ankle. So giving the foot a good circle, fingers in behind the toes if that's possible. What's that? Make it the ankle as much as you can, and then circle in the opposite direction. And then still holding that foot with your left hand, however you were holding it. If you had your fingers in behind the toes, keep them there. Bend your left knee and put the foot on the bolster. You might need to push the bolster away just a fraction. So you've got your left knee bent and the foot is resting on your left thigh. Put your right hand now just on the right thigh, just to support it. So you're holding the foot on the left thigh and you're supporting the right thigh with your right hand. Deep breaths in and deep breaths out. So you're just aware of the foot across to the thigh. So, Judith, your left foot is on the bolster with the knee bent, your left foot, and your right thigh's across. That's it. Perfect. And let's release this side and go to your other side. So release your right leg. Slide your left leg long for a moment. Slide your right leg long. Just feel the fronts of your hips opening. And then draw your left thigh up over the front body. Just bring the hand behind the kneecap to start with. Slide it out. And draw the left knee towards the left armpit, holding the foot. So you've got a slightly diagonal movement of your lower leg. Just drawing that knee towards the armpit. And then with your left hand on the knee, just the left hand on the knee, start to circle at the hip. So big circles as you move around. So there's quite a lot of movement here. Circling in the opposite direction. And then with the left hand on the knee, reach for your foot again with your right hand. Slide your left hand under the shin just to draw that shin close. Put your fingers in behind the foot. So your right finger's in behind the left foot, if you could go. And supporting the shin, circling the foot at the ankle. Don't feel any tension in your neck. So this is where you might have needed to put a block or a cushion under your head. So circling the foot in the opposite direction, getting in behind those toes, getting into the ankle. And then bending your right knee, put your right foot on the bolster, make sure it's sort of secure on the bolster, and bring that left foot across the top of your right thigh. Hold the foot with your right hand. Put your left hand just flat onto the left thigh, just to ease it away from you. You'll probably find that one side feels a lot more difficult than the other side. So just being gentle with that. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out here. And then release that leg. Both legs long over your bolster. Bolster is still under your thighs. Just resting for a moment. And then if you reach for your straps, bend both knees, put both feet on the bolster. And then bring your strap around both feet. So lift your head and shoulders, put the strap around the balls of both feet. Take both legs up to the ceiling. So have your feet a little apart. And I'd like your legs, your backs of your knees to be open. So vertical isn't important. It's if your legs are at a bit of an angle, that's fine. Keep your shoulders relaxed, keep your head and neck relaxed. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. And then you're going to bring the soles of your feet together, still in the strap. Bring the outer edges of your feet onto your bolster. Knees are going wide. So you're in a lying Baddha Konasana, tailor pose. You've got your strap across the inner thighs. So resting here, outer edges of your feet on the bolster, knees dropping out. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. You might start to notice a bit of an arch in your lumbar. So if you need to maybe let go of the strap, I'm letting go of my strap, and roll the lower back to the ground. So you're rolling your pelvis. You've still got the feet and legs in Baddha Konasana, tailor pose. And then have a big breath in and let your pelvis roll the other way, arch in the lumbar. So you exhale and roll your pelvis, waist going to the floor. Inhale and expand the belly, arching your waist. Just do that a few times. Pressing the soles of your feet together as you work. And then reaching for your strap again. And taking the feet up to the ceiling again, straight legs. And then if you keep the strap in your right foot, bring your left foot out, put your left foot back on the bolster. Both ends of the strap in your right hand and take your foot across the top of your left thigh. Now the strap, you can either get rid of your strap or you can hold it in your left hand. And we're going to bring the left foot off the bolster, thread your fingers in the gap between your right calf and thigh, and clasp your hands around the back of your left thigh. So you've got thread the needle. Some people like to use the strap around the back of the left thigh just to help reach, but whatever you can do. So this is a big stretch in your right outer hip and in the buttocks. So deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Keep your shoulders relaxed. It's important you remember your left from your right. And let's change legs. So if you'd like to bring the strap, put both feet into the strap, take both feet up to the ceiling again with the strap around both feet. And then keeping the strap around the ball of your left foot, put your right foot on the bolster. Just have the left hand around both ends of the strap. As you bend the leg, bring that left top of the foot onto your right thigh. And if you're going to keep holding the strap, just change hands on the strap. So you're just using your left hand to ease the thigh away. And then bringing your right foot off the bolster, threading your hands around the back of your right thigh, or you can use the strap. So you probably feel very different, got different degrees of movements. So don't force it, just be aware that our bodies are not symmetrical. And then we're going to release, bring the strap around both feet, take both legs up to the ceiling again. Reaching up, that's it. So you all seem to have very nice long straps. So from here, with both feet in the strap, slide your legs into a wide V. So you're using the strap to help you take the legs into a wide V shape. Keeping your shoulders relaxed, your head is relaxed on the ground. Feel the inner thighs as you breathe out. Your back should be very heavy on the ground now. Another deep breath in. And then just bringing the soles of the feet together again, coming back into the Baddha Konasana, outer edges of your feet on the bolster. You've still got the strap around your feet. And then getting rid of your strap, bringing your thighs over the front body and either reaching for your big toes, or maybe I shouldn't have said get rid of your strap. You can either have the strap around both feet, or you can put your hands on your kneecaps if you can't hold your big toes. So we're going to start to roll the head and take the body to the side, and then roll the head to the other side and let the legs, the body follows. So rolling along the ground, using your head as the force. And whether you've got your hands on your kneecaps or you're holding your toes, the next time you're on your right side, stay there. If you're holding your toes, transfer both big toes into the underneath hand. So it'll be your right hand. And then everybody release the left arm back to the left. So you've come into a lying twist. Palm of the hand is turned up. And deep breaths in. That's it. Deep breaths out. If your hands are on your kneecaps, that's fine. So just feeling that diagonal movement across the body. Deep breaths. Another deep breath in there. Reach your left hand back to get hold of your toes, so the hand comes between the legs, or hands onto the kneecaps. Use your head to roll yourself back up to center and rocking to your other side. Transfer both big toes to your underneath hand, and everybody sweep the right arm up and back to the right. If that's really uncomfortable, you can put the right hand on your right ribs just to, so you haven't got that big long lever. That's it. And again, deep breaths. If you're holding your toes, the knees will be apart, feet coming close. And then on your next exhale, reach your left hand back between the legs and rolling yourself back up to center. That's it. So at the center, cross your feet at the ankles. You need to keep your bolsters out of the way. Cross your feet at the ankles, lift your head and shoulders, grab hold of your feet around the outsides of your legs, and begin to rock backwards and forwards along the length of your spine. So rolling. If you don't, if rolling along the length of your spine isn't good, then roll from side to side before you come up to kneeling. So we'll bring ourselves into child's pose. So folding down, big toes touching, knees wide. So you can support your forehead with your two hands, or the forehead on the floor, arms relaxed either in front of you or by your sides, whichever is most comfortable. And from this forwards movement, uncurl slowly into sitting up on your heels and then into the all fours. So if we come to the all fours, so hands under the shoulders, knees hip width. Just looking at your hands and feeling that sense of groundedness, support, and the rounding up of your back as you breathe in, and the release between the shoulder blades as you breathe out. So hear the breath in your throat. So when the practice we've just done, the thread the needle, the hip work, very much about the hips, and your spine was quite fixed. So really enjoy moving. Just using the breath, going right to the end of the exhales. And the next time you breathe out, just fold back into child pose once again. Just resting down in child. If you extend your arms as far forwards as they'll go, so really feel your wrists grounded. And then coming up with the rounded back and let your pelvis take you into the hanging cobra. So strong, straight arms. So just let yourself flow through this movement, inhaling, rounding your back up to the ceiling, exhaling back to your heels. Inhaling, head hanging, looking back between your legs. And then the pelvis brings you through, and finally your eyes are lifted to look forwards. So do this slowly with great awareness. There'll be certain parts of the movement that your body is really looking for. So just let yourself enjoy the movement, using the breath, using the ground, feeling that openness in your armpits and the openness in your hips, the front of your hips. When you go back to your heels next time, resting back, just rest in. You might find you folded down a little bit more as you go back into child's pose. And we'll come back up to the all fours. So coming back up to the all fours, can we just spend a few moments rolling the barrel? So the barrel of your ribs, circle it, roll it. So it's a very different sort of movement. Elbows will have to give a little bit as you roll. You can feel the movement in your shoulder blades. And rolling the barrel the other way. And settling in the all fours. So we're going to extend opposite arm and leg. So when you're ready, I want you to breathe in, rounding your back up to the ceiling. On the exhale, extending one arm and the opposite leg. Feel the upper arm just in front of your ear. There's a moment at the end of the exhale where you're completely balanced. And then as you start the breath in, hand and knee come to the floor, you drop your head, round your back up to the ceiling. And the exhale, as you extend the other arm and opposite leg. And at the end of the exhale, you're completely balanced. And then dropping the head, dropping the tail as you round and breathe in back to the ground. So keep that flowing. Really noticing the end of the out breath where you're completely balanced and feeling strong. That's it. That's it. Lovely. When you finish your second side next time, just folding back into child for a moment. And then uncurl into kneeling up. So we're just going to take that into the rotation. So if I just remind you, so you've got the inhalation. As you exhale, extending, and then I'm going to put my foot on the floor, toes tucked under, pressing strongly into my heel. Upper arm is by my ear as I rotate. So it's a big movement in the underbody, and you've got the rotation. And then you round up, breathing in, and toes tucked under, pressing into the heel. Upper arm stays by your ear, and I'm just shaking that so you can see, and then coming back to your center. So if you could do that twice to each side. See, rounding up, inhaling. As you exhale, extend the arm and the leg. At the end of the exhale, tuck toes under, pressing into the heel, breathing in. As you breathe out and rotating, keeping that upper arm by your ear and keeping that feeling of length. That's it. So don't drop your back knee. Keep pressing into the heel. And then we come back, breathing in, rounding up. Practice to other side. So feeling those side ribs, it's the rib cage rolling. Just twice, twice to each side, that's plenty. Have a rest in child when you've completed. That's lovely. No rush. So everyone folding down into child's pose when you've completed your second side. And uncurling, sitting up. We're going to come to half kneeling and half squatting. So let's put the right foot on the floor with the left knee parallel to the instep, your left toes tucked under, fingertips on the floor. So the inhalation while you're down here, as you exhale, head down, bottom up, and your back heel goes to the floor. If it doesn't, then you need to bring the knee forwards when you come down. So you exhale and inhale. This is really about your legs. The fingertips are just there for a little bit of support. Balance, but not much weight. So going up and down. Big breath in when you come down, the exhale when you go up. Straightening the back leg, that's it. Neck's relaxed. And when you come down next time,
Then change sides. So inhaling first, exhaling, head down, bottom up, back heel to the ground. So you can see both feet, just keeping them running parallel, keeping your knees in line with your ankles. I suppose it's better to say keep the knees running in line with your second toes. That's it. Relax the shoulders and neck a bit more. When you feel as though you've worked this side as many times as the other, then resting. Child's pose, that's it. And then uncurl into the all fours again. This time tuck your toes under. So with your both toes tucked under, hands about 12 inches in front of your knees, just lifting your knees, and don't let your shoulders get involved. You've just got this strong straight arm bone, and it's your legs as you unfold into dog. And just looking at your feet, have them hip width, scrunch your toes up a bit, come up on the balls of your feet, and then bend your knees and come down again. So going up and down, just like a hairpin, and there's no stress in the shoulders or the neck. Can you let your jaw hang? Drop your jaw. That's quite hard to say. Drop your jaw. And when you go up the third time, then hold it right up on the balls of your feet. And then slowly walk your hands towards your feet. So do this in your own time. Heels going down. Keep the front body resting on your thighs, hanging over your legs. And pressing into your feet, uncurl slowly into standing up. So coming up here, slowly, slowly, slowly uncurling until you're in mountain pose. So bringing yourselves up there. Just take my right. Until you're standing in mountain pose. So there's been a lot of flexion of ankles, knees and hips this morning. So just taking your time to feel that sense of being balanced, right side, left side, sense of resting through your bones. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. So with your palms turned back, as you breathe in, turn your palms forwards, take your arms out to shoulder height, bring the palms into your heart and up above your head. That's one in-breath. As you exhale, palms together to your heart, turn your palms forwards, open your arms, palms turning back as they come by your sides. That's the end of the out-breath. So in-breath, palms together and up above your head, fill the full lungs, exhaling slowly back to your heart, palms forward, still exhaling, palms back. So you're really using your deep abdominal muscles to exhale, feeling the rib cage expanding as you inhale. Keep the expansiveness. Even as you start the exhale, keep the expansiveness in your actual ribs until the end of the exhale. The next time that you breathe out, then resting with your arms hanging by your sides. So deep breaths in, deep breaths out. We're going to practice the back bend, just to open up at the fronts of the hips. Put your fists into the bony pelvis, elbows and shoulders rolling back, but don't force them. So you press your pelvis forwards and breastbone is moving forwards and up. You don't have to look up or drop your head, you can look straight ahead. So it's a pelvic press, deep breaths in, deep breaths out. So you're very open in the fronts of your hips now. That's the whole point. Pelvic press, deep breaths in, deep breaths out. And then on your next exhale, coming back up to the upright, let your hands come forwards to shoulder height. Make sure your feet are parallel to each other. Drop your knees and fold into the squat. Keep your shoulders relaxed, don't pull them forwards, keep them coming back into the body. And you don't have to go very low, you can just come a little bit up. If you feel that you can go lower, then you can, but the kneecaps are going straight ahead. So it's about your thighs, your calves probably. And big deep breaths in, feel the rib cage expanding as you breathe in. Go right to the end of the exhales as you breathe out. Another deep breath in here. As you breathe out, straighten your legs and lower your arms, just coming to standing. So taking a moment. So we're going to, with your feet parallel, take your right foot forwards as though it's in a track. Okay, so we're going to hinge at the top of the legs. So the inhale, as you exhale, feel yourself folding. So your spine is flat, chin is drawn in. Ideally, both legs are straight. If you're going to bend a leg, it's the front one a little. Let your right hand drop down to the inside of your right knee. Put your left hand on your pelvis. And as you exhale, start to roll your right shoulder down, your left shoulder up into Trikonasana, the triangle. So you've rolled, that's it. Really grounding through both feet. That's it. Lovely. Another deep breath in here. As you breathe out, come back to your center. Both hands coming onto the back of your pelvis. Your body is squared up. Press into your feet and come up to standing. And stepping that right foot back. So you're back in mountain pose. So let's step your left foot forwards. Fingers where you're going to hinge. So ideally straight legs. As you exhale, come forwards. So this really is only a walking step. Left hand goes down to the inside of that left leg, knee. Right hand on the back of your pelvis. Big breath in as you breathe out. Left shoulder goes down, right shoulder comes up.
You've rolled your ribs. And deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Deep breaths. To come down, both hands on the back of your pelvis, square yourself up, press into the feet and come up. Let's just take a moment here in mountain pose. So we're going to do that again, exactly the same. Or you could, let me just quickly show you. You could roll down, and I'm speeding this up. So you'd roll down, fingertips on the floor, and you would step your left foot back. So it's just as though you're in train tracks. So from here, forward bend, you step the left foot back, and then you come up. It's harder to balance, but for some of us, it just gives a little bit more balance and movement. So either step forwards with the right foot and work exactly the same way again, or rolling down into the forward bend. And you can have slightly soft knees, but fingertips have to go to the floor. So whichever way, and then if you've rolled down like that, you just slide your left foot back as though it's in a train track. It won't go very far back. There's probably only about 8 or 12 inches between your heel and your right heel and your left toe. So the right hand this time will be by the ankle, and you'll start to rotate by bringing your left hand up around your ribs and then keep the arm going up. Or you step your right foot forwards, you hinge at the top of the legs, right hand comes to the inside of the right knee, left hand onto the back of your pelvis, and as you breathe out, you rotate, and right shoulder goes down, left shoulder goes up. Hi, sorry, I'm up here. Yes, please. Thank you. That'll look good on the recording. Speaking to the postman. Sorry, Anna, did I make you unbalanced? So coming up when you're ready, remember to square yourself up. If you're in the forward bend, stay down. So if you stepped from the forward bend, if you stepped your left foot back, just step it back forwards, pause in the forward bend, and then slide your right foot back. And you'll work with the left hand down. Otherwise, you've come up and you're going to step your left foot forwards, fingers at the top of your legs, exhaling forwards, left hand to the inside of the left knee, right hand on the pelvis. As you exhale, left shoulder down, right shoulder going up. Where are you at, Marion? Have you done both sides? Okay, got you. Okay, so you could come into a squat. That's it. That's it. So when you have, I don't want anybody to rush. You will be eventually coming down. So Rosemary, you can roll down. You can roll down to the floor, turn your toes out and go into the squat. So once you have completed on your left side, rolling down and turning your toes out, dropping into the squat. So swinging from foot to foot. And just taking a moment here. Once you're swinging from foot to foot, put your hands behind your pelvis, come to sitting. Slide your legs long. I'd quite like us to do a bridge pose before relaxation. So
lying back on your mats. And just taking a moment here to place your feet firmly. And slowly pressing into your feet. Have your arms by your sides, pressing into the feet. You can take the arms up and overhead if that's how you'd like to work. I think at this stage you probably would like to extend your arms. So going down through your heels, feeling the heels as you slowly let the pelvis come up. So this is maybe a little bit stronger than if we'd done it at the start of the session. Really going down through the heels and making sure your kneecaps come straight forwards. Feeling the thighs working and the fronts of your hips starting to open up. So deep breaths in, deep breaths out. You've got soft ribs, soft belly. Go right to the end of your exhales. Another deep breath in, and as you breathe out, slowly come down. I'd like us to do that again. You can do it exactly the same, or we could add Uddiyana Bandha, which is the abdominal lock, which you won't do if it doesn't feel good to you, or if you did eat very much before the session. So you're starting by going down through the heels, feel the kneecaps go forwards as you start to come up, arms up and back, feeling the open armpits. And with a very soft jaw, into breathe in. As you breathe out, go right to the end of the exhale. And at the end of the exhale, pause. And without inhaling, make the movement of inhaling. So you're not actually taking in air, but you're making the movement, which creates a vacuum in the belly. And just allow your in-breath to come in. You'll know the point where you need to take the in-breath. So you can do that 2 or 3 times in the same lift, or you can come down and go up again. So you breathe in, go right to the end of the exhale, pause at the end of the exhale, make the action of breathing in without taking in air, and feel the vacuum. You may also feel it in your throat. It will be happening in your pelvic floor as well. And then when you know it's time, you will breathe in again. So when you're ready, you can either go down and come up once more, or you can come down if you've had enough. And then there's no rush, but coming into preparing for relaxation. So you can put on your socks and tops, have your blankets, bolsters. So when you come to lying, just making sure that you're as comfortable as you can be and that you're as warm as you can be. So the aim is to develop a stillness without tension. So comfort and stillness. Comfort becomes before stillness. And if during the practice you get the urge to move or scratch, just simply observe the urge. And usually it will go away. That's part of the practice. So as you lie back, allow your arms to be out by your sides, palms of your hands turned up, space in your armpits. Let your toes fall out equally from the midline. And feel the alignment between your head, neck, and spine. Noticing that your chin is slightly lower than your forehead, so that your neck is a little longer. And once you've adjusted, then just becoming still for the rest of the practice. And at the beginning and the end of Yoga Nidra, we make a resolve. So generally this involves positive direction in one's life. A short, clear sentence, positive statement. Repeat it now with absolute conviction 3 times. And Yoga Nidra is a practice where sleep is involved. The body becomes profoundly rested whilst the awareness is active, but there is no effort. So as each part of the body is mentioned, just touch it with your awareness, see it, but don't move. And beginning on the right side, be aware of your right thumb, first finger, middle finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, all the fingers and thumb, palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, right side, waist, hip, top of the thigh, back of the thigh, knee, back of the knee, shin, calf, ankle, heel, sole of the foot, top of the foot, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, all the toes. Draw the awareness to your left hand thumb, first finger, middle finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, all the fingers and thumb, palm, back of the hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, left side, waist, hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, sole of the foot, top of the foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, all the toes together. The whole right arm, the whole left arm, the whole right leg, the whole left leg, right buttock, right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade, whole right side of the back, whole left side of the back, the whole length of the spine, the whole back, the back of the neck, the back of the head, crown of the head, forehead, right temple, left temple, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, eyebrow center, right eye, right ear, left ear, right cheek, left cheek, bridge of the nose, tip of the nose, upper lip, lower lip, teeth and gums, the tongue, root of the tongue, base of the throat, front of the neck, right collarbone, left collarbone, right chest, left chest, lower ribs, navel, abdomen, groin. The whole body, the whole body, the whole body. Begin to experience a sense of heaviness within the body. Experience the body becoming heavier and heavier. Almost so heavy that it leaves a mark in the ground, as though the ground is cradling the body. And now let this feeling fade to be replaced by feelings of lightness, almost weightlessness, buoyancy. Be aware of the sensations of lightness, the body light. And let this sensation fade and begin to experience feelings of coolness in the body. Feel it becoming cooler and cooler and cooler. And letting go of coolness as you begin to experience feelings of warmth, becoming comfortably warm. And now beginning to let go of the sensations of warmth and notice the breath moving in the body, expanding and releasing. Bring your attention to the top of your head and notice with the exhales traveling down through each and every part of the body, from the top of the head to the tips of the fingers, the tips of the toes. Experiencing a sense of release, of letting go of any tension, stored fatigue. As you exhale, let it out into the ground to be absorbed. Let the exhale become a wave of golden light, moving from the top of the head to the toes. Keep on with the practice. A wave of golden light from head to toes. Continue watching the breath without effort. Waves of golden light moving from the top of the head to the toes. And now begin to become aware of looking into the space behind the eyes, as if looking into a transparent screen, into the space as large or as small as you like, and objectively watching what can be seen. Shapes, colours. Just simply watch, observe. And now letting go of the awareness of this internal space. And recall your resolve. That positive statement you made at the start of the practice. Repeat it to yourself with conviction 3 times now. And now begin to become more aware of your body and whatever is supporting it. The different areas of contact, the body and the supports, the floor. Be aware of sounds around you. And noticing breath. Beginning to breathe more deeply, more loudly as you prepare to move, to come back into this time and place. So wriggling fingers, wiggling toes, rolling the head from side to side, yawning, stretching, moving. And drawing the knees up over the front body, hugging your knees, rocking from side to side. Really appreciating your body for being right here, right now. Thank your body for being with you as it is right now. And when you're ready, roll over onto one side, resting on one side. And from your side, coming gradually up to sitting, let your head come up last. Bringing the palms of your hands together, give your palms a good rub. And placing the hot palms over your closed eyelids. So just drawing the heat and energy through your eyelids. And slowly allowing the light back in as you bring your hands away from your eyes. Thank you, everybody.